You're driving alone on a major interstate late at night. It's cold, raining, and visibility is low. Out of nowhere, bang, your tire blows. Your car jerks to the side, and your only option is to pull into the shoulder. You slow down, heart racing, hoping the shoulder is stable enough to hold your vehicle. But as your vehicle settles, the ground beneath you shifts with every passing truck. The shoulder isn't paved or reinforced. It isn't even safe. It's soft soil, wet and unstable. And in that moment, you realize you had no idea what the shoulder conditions were. No warning, no road signs. You were completely blind. Now imagine you're driving a fully loaded semi-truck. The margin for error becomes almost zero. This exact situation contributes to thousands of preventable accidents each year, not because of reckless driving, but because one of the most important safety features on the road, the shoulder, has almost no real data, limited monitoring, and no real accountability. That is a massive, invisible safety problem, and until now, no one has solved it.
12% of fatal roadway accidents in the U.S. involve the shoulder. It's a part of the road that is rarely monitored and often overlooked. State and local transportation agencies manage thousands of miles of shoulders, yet most lack reliable, up-to-date data on their conditions. This forces crews to rely on infrequent manual surveys or outdated warning signs instead of continuous insights. SafeShoulder closes this gap by transforming shoulders from neglected infrastructure into consistently measured, better managed, and safer assets to the public. Today, there's still no reliable, continuous way to measure shoulder conditions at scale. Agencies don't have a unified methodology or data set that they can trust. So instead, they rely on a mix of outdated approaches. Manual surveys and field inspections are done every 12 to 24 months, and they're inconsistent and too low resolution to support real decision-making. State inspection programs often use limited or outdated data, so they're not capturing what's happening right now. And aerial imagery or quick visual checks from moving vehicles provide only rough snapshots that miss most issues. These gaps have real consequences. We see hazards that go unnoticed and signage that just doesn't match real shoulder conditions. That contributes to preventable accidents. It also increases maintenance costs because problems aren't caught early. And with weak data, states struggle to justify federal funding. So while current methods offer occasional insight, they fall far short of the continuous, high-quality, verifiable data that's needed for proactive planning and safer roadways. For millions of drivers, the split-second uncertainty about the true condition of road shoulders is a daily reality. Our system changes that. Instead of relying on guesswork or infrequent inspections, our autonomous rovers are traveling the same routes that drivers do and gathering the critical measurements like soil stability, slope, material type, hazards, and even hidden structural issues beneath the surface. SafeShoulder ultimately delivers one thing: a structured high-resolution dataset of every road shoulder segment. What you're seeing here is the actual output: detailed classifications of the surface type, soil bearing, slope, hazards, and even the risk levels. This is the product agencies use to plan maintenance, prioritize repairs, and help identify risk before they escalate further.
But how is this data collected? It starts with autonomous rovers, which operate as mobile data collectors, scanning road shoulders using advanced sensors such as radars, high-resolution cameras, and many more to collect and process verified data on stability and hazards. All of this information is transmitted through communication networks, processed through our internal models, and delivered as standardized data sets. That data set is licensed to state and local government agencies to provide continuous and objective insight into road shoulder safety. The data flow here outlines that entire journey from rover data collection to transmission, cloud processing, storage, and continuous improvement. It shows how sensor data captured on the shoulder moves through our analysis engine, gets stored in the appropriate layers, and is ultimately delivered to DOT dashboards. From rover to cloud to agency, SafeShoulder delivers a seamless, automated pipeline that continuously updates road shoulder safety data.
Based on the data flow we just showed, the information we collect has the potential to power a range of customer use cases, whether that's transforming the data into simple visual dashboards or integrating it directly into the reporting and mapping tools agencies already use. In other words, the rover's data has the potential to become clear, actionable insights that help state and local governments quickly understand shoulder conditions and make smarter safety decisions. It's important to understand where SafeShoulder stands today, what gives us an advantage, where we'll need to stay sharp, and what opportunities and risks are emerging around us. Our SWOT analysis lays that out clearly. Starting with our strengths, we have a true first mover advantage. No other system provides continuous sensor verified shoulder data. Our solution directly improves public safety and reduces accidents, which makes it highly defensible and impactful. And our operations scale easily. As municipalities adopt the service, rover fleets can expand regionally while revenue increases linearly. For weaknesses, there are challenges in developing and calibrating multi-sensor hardware, and government procurement cycles can be slow. We also face higher upfront operational costs as we deploy rover fleets and build out our infrastructure. Now, looking at opportunities, there's major potential to partner with navigation platforms like Google Maps and Apple Maps. Our historical data set also unlocks AI-driven predictive maintenance, allowing cities to forecast erosion, soil stability, or drop-off risks. And because road shoulders are so undermeasured today, we have an enormous untapped nationwide market. And finally, for the threats, some states still restrict autonomous or shoulder driving operations, which may require policy engagement. There's also the possibility that major mapping companies could attempt to replicate aspects of our model. And because we rely on multi-sensor hardware, field failure presents a real operational risk that we need to actively manage. Overall, the SWOT shows strong competitive advantages, clear expansion pathways, and manageable risk as we scale SafeShoulder.
Our minimum viable product is centered on the core data needed by our customers. We deliver roadside safety information that contains soil stability, slope, obstructions, and surface conditions. These match the key measurements agencies already captured through manual inspections while adding more reliable, high-fidelity insights. This dataset is enabled by a baseline rover prototype that consists of a minimalist system designed to capture only the essential measurements needed to generate our core dataset. Our data outputs are readily compatible, delivered in formats like CSV, so agencies can integrate it directly into their existing government information system platforms without disruption or complication. We validate adoption through surveys and focus groups that confirm data preferences, pain points, and willingness to adopt. We then close out our validation process with an iterative feedback loop that tests successive integration while supporting necessary refinements to the product to ensure successful validation of our product design and market strategies. As we move into the business model, it's important to ground everything in the core value we actually deliver to transportation agencies. SafeShoulder isn't just a piece of hardware or another inspection tool. It's a continuous safety intelligence service. It provides more frequent, high-fidelity shoulder data that agencies can plug directly into their GIS and asset management systems. Replacing infrequent yearly inspections, our system delivers multi-sensor validated updates on a recurring basis. Everything is delivered through a fully managed rover-as-a-service model, so governments never buy or maintain hardware. Our fixed annual pricing fits government budgets, avoids complex procurement cycles, and accelerates adoption. And this verified data strengthens federal funding applications, reduces inspection costs, and helps agencies detect hazards earlier, leading to safer roads and better infrastructure decisions. The key to our business model is the assumption that state and local governments are willing to adopt SafeShoulder into their current platforms. Our revenue model is designed to make that adoption simple and sustainable. It begins with annual data-only licensing. Each municipality pays a fixed yearly fee to access verified roadside safety datasets, giving them a straightforward path to procurement. Our model creates a low barrier to adoption. Since SafeShoulder manages all rover operations and data acquisition, agencies don't need to purchase hardware or manage technical upkeep. They can focus entirely on the value of the data, making adoption fast and hassle-free. A shared cost and simplified pricing structure has allowed us to establish a predictable budgeting model. Pricing is aligned with municipal budget cycles, offering agencies stable, year-to-year costs that make short and long-term planning and renewal easier and more likely.
The go-to-market strategy starts with the development of the leap of faith assumption and minimum viable product, both shown earlier. We then plan to survey potential customers, ideally running through local departments of transportation, to gather more information about pain points and issues that they are experiencing in the current process of road shoulder improvement. The MVP will then be delivered to a small set of customers for testing. This is where the feedback loop begins and is critical towards the product development. Customer feedback will help inform further product development and refinement as the data and data collection are improved for the customer's use cases. The final product will then be rolled out to early customers for adoption into their road shoulder improvement. SafeShoulder intends to target local municipalities on a smaller scale initially. These local governments will provide a smaller service area of coverage and will allow for continued process improvement with the final product. The next step in the market strategy is growing the customer base. Following successful implementation of the service with local governments, our plan is to increase the customer base to state governments and then target larger interstate highways. This will rapidly expand SafeShoulder's geographical customer base and coverage. When discussing the competitive landscape, it is important to note that SafeShoulder's intent is to disrupt the current road shoulder assessment processes and industry and act as a first mover into adding modern technology to an outdated and inefficient ecosystem. As a disruptor, SafeShoulder doesn't have any current competitors that can match the quality and efficiency of its data collection and product. Rather, SafeShoulder's competitors are the current incumbents in the system. These assessments are performed by third-party construction and surveying companies or are performed by the responsible Department of Transportation. These assessments, as stated before, are manual, expensive, and inefficient. Through its proprietary technological features, SafeShoulder will provide a high-quality, autonomous assessment for which there is no equivalent competitor.
From its introductory phase, SafeShoulder will provide continuous sensor-verified shoulder data that supports proactive maintenance and early risk detection. As it enters its growth stage, more agencies will integrate the standardized information into their safety, planning, and maintenance processes. As we reach maturity, SafeShoulder will continue to evolve, expanding into new data layers and predictive capabilities that extend the product lifecycle and drive ongoing innovation. So sit back and enjoy your drive because SafeShoulder is on your side.